Welcome to the Besties in the Books podcast, guys. I'm Liz.
And I'm Ashley. And if you're watching a YouTube video, you might have noticed that Liz and I accidentally coordinated our sweatshirts for this themed episode. She's wearing a dark hunter green. It says Happy Horror Days. Is that what it is? And it's like a cute little Christmassy haunted mansion. I'm wearing red. It's actually not holiday themed, but like, look at that.
It's got a star. It looks like it could be like, if you didn't know, you could totally.
Yeah, Air of Fire, Starborn Fae. Yeah, from Lionheart Threads. We'll link everything down below. But I just thought that was cute. We're like literally starting, and I'm like, wait. Look at Liz, look at me. We didn't plan this, but it worked out great. Look at that. So we're here, you guys, for a very cringy Christmas episode. In case you missed our Thanksgiving one, boy howdy, that was a hoot.
Go check it out if you missed it.
Go check it out. We'll link it down below. Even though, I think at this point we're posting this maybe the week after Thanksgiving. So I hope everybody had a good time. Those that celebrate. And I know, not everybody does. And sometimes you're not in the country. But I hope you had a good freaking week either way. So we are going to officially bring in the Christmas season, ring on the season with our cringy Christmas reads, you guys. Oh, what a treat. What a treat.
So if you're new here and you didn't follow what we did for our Thanksgiving episodes, basically the process was like, this idea was born like when we were super tired on a plane back from Vegas and we were like, let's look up the cringiest like sounding little novellas that we can find on Kindle Unlimited for, we did Thanksgiving and now we're doing Christmas. So we read 2 because they're pretty short. And that was pretty much like what we wanted to do. And then obviously just like talk about them with you guys. Were they actually cringy? Were they perhaps good? How would we rate them? Would we suggest you read them for the holidays? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You'll see. You'll hear. We'll let you know.
So this time around, we read Hunted in Holly by Leann Belle and Mr. Jingle by Layla Fae. So there's a backstory on this. So Layla Fae wrote Full Sack, which was one that has been a hit for our Thanksgiving cringy reads. Yeah. So she has a whole series.
Yeah.
Not just it's like Holiday, but then there's also some other ones or whatever. I can't remember how many are in the series now, but we were like, okay, let's read Mr. Jingle just so that we could revisit this kind of level of like Unhinged because her last book really delivered, and so that's why we chose that one. Ashley found Hunted in Holly. How did you find that one? You just like went on KU
I was just like looking around, browsing the webs, and I was like, oh, this kind of looks like maybe like a Hunting Adeline take, but Christmassy. So I was kind of, because we were going to do one smut read and one kind of more Hallmarky.
I couldn't
do
it. I couldn't
and Liz
do
couldn't
it.
do it. She was on the mission to find that, and she couldn't deliver.
I was having, the way that I was having a crisis. Okay, because I was like, you know what? I could do this. It's like, it must be how like Hallmark people feel about reading a dark romance. Like, I could do this. It's not that big of a deal.
I can do it.
I'm amping myself. I'm like, it can't be that hard, right? And so I'm like looking on Kindle Unlimited for just like Christmas reads, like cutesy Hallmarky, like maybe a little smutty, like, but more on the cutesy side, like Christmas reads. And so I'm finding a lot of like small town. I'm finding a lot of cowboy romance. I'm finding a lot of stuff like that. And I kept on just sending things to Ashley because I'm like, I literally don't know what to pick because they all sound terrible to me.
Yeah.
And not in like a cringy way, like not in like a fun cringy way, but just in a like, wow, that was not fun to read kind of way. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to be like sad about it when I'm reading it. So
it was like a little too Hallmark for reading for you.
I don't know. I have lines that cannot be crossed.
Yeah,
those are my trigger warnings.
And in this time of year and everything that's going on in the world, like I decided it was more important for us to protect Liz's peace because, like, I love a good cheesy Hallmark movie for what it is. Like, it's super predictable, but we're all going through a lot right now in this time, this dire time in our country, and I was like, I'll give you a pass. So, like, you know what? Let's read another Layla Fae because research. We need to know how Unhinged this author can get. So we did it for you.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it. I'll just have it be known that, I mean, it definitely delivered. We'll talk about it for sure. I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I feel like I need to I want to have them in my book room. Like, I want to order the whole set in all of their, like, unhingedness and just have them, like, in my book room so that when people come here, because this is also our guest room, so when people come here and they stay, and they're like, maybe, you know, I suspect that people probably browse around, that they would find those and be like, what in the actual world? And then they could actually read one in a night, and they'd be like, this is crazy. I want to spread that to people. This is what Liz
is all about. Okay. You know, just to make it all clear, you know?
Right off the bat.
No room for questioning. Just like, here I am, world. This is what I'm all about.
Take it or leave it.
I want to know, like, who else read that. I want to know. And are you going to read Mr. Jingle? We'll let you know what it's all about.
Mr. Jingle. It was nothing like I anticipated.
Like, in this chaos with us.
We do.
Truly.
Yeah.
And a little scarred.
I feel like Layla Fae, like, we need to, like, I feel like I'm going to continue going down this journey so that maybe we could try to get her on the podcast later. Yeah. Like, I feel like, you know, this is like a Hazel Mack situation where we went into it with one expectation.
Yeah.
And then it went somewhere completely different. You know,
that's what we love. That's what we love. Yeah. So I knew Liz wouldn't be in the right headspace right now to try to appreciate a Hallmark read. So it was for sure a loss. So I'm glad we made a decision we did. But like, there was even one called Smut Actually that like Liz like, I can't. And like, I literally returned it because I had just downloaded it. So we couldn't.
I mean, I tried. I went into it because I was like, I love Love Actually. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies.
I was like, let's do it. Whatever.
It's great. And I'm like, Smut Actually, like, what a hilarious, like, idea. Because it's like, you know, it's the same thing where it's all these, like, interconnected stories or whatever. I literally started, I was, like, on the first page, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm like, I can't do it. My brain will explode. And my brain will explode.
Here's the thing. These are shorter reads that we're trying to stick to, like, around 100 pages. If it is so bad, it's going to take us a month to read it if it's bad. Like, it'll feel like 1,000 pages if it's bad. Like, that Courted by a Cowboy that we read for our least favorite tropes and stuff took us so long because it was just hard to, like, stomach
get into
through.
it.
So, you know.
We want something we could read in, like, one sitting.
Yeah, next year though, I'm gonna make Liz read one, so we'll take suggestions then at that point. And it is harder because we're trying to keep it a novella size. So I wonder how much harder that is, but you know what, it can be done. So
because I even looked like at the grocery store because I was like, you know, I'm at the grocery store. I'm gonna look at the Christmas because they have all the Christmas like, you know, like romance out. Yeah. And I was like, cool. I swear the shortest one I found was probably 250 pages. And I'm like, no way. Cannot do it.
We don't have time. So we have to be in the right headspace to be, you know, have some open arms. But we're still bringing the cringe, just a different way. So, hey,
it took
more unhinged Christmas.
So, if that sounds good to you, stick around. As per usual, the, you know, first 15 minutes or so are going to be spoiler free, and then we'll get into the spoiler section. We will give you a warning. Also, you know, we did say this on the last episode, the cringy Thanksgiving reads, but, you know, I want to reiterate it again here. This is all in good fun.
Yeah.
We roast things because it's fun and funny and lighthearted. Like, don't take anything too seriously. If you loved these books, great. If you rated them higher than us, great. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
There's something for everyone. And also, this episode will probably be a little bit more explicit than our typical because there ain't no way around it.
Yeah. And there are some different types of kinks and tropes that, you know, again, we just are a podcast that likes to make fun of stuff, and we're not trying to yuck anybody's yum. Like, do whatever you like whatever you like, but we gotta just talk about it and all the funniness that it is. So we're gonna go down that. I mean, the same thing with the Hallmark even. You know, I know people love the Hallmark vibes and the cute, sweet, small town romance stories. That's not typically our thing. But we don't want them to banned, for crying out loud. You know, there's a space for everyone, but we will also make fun of stuff that we like. So it's all neutral, fair game.
100%. 100%. But before we get into that, we just wanted to say thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, you guys, and happy holidays. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcasts, including YouTube. We're at Besties in the Books podcast everywhere. If you want to be able to like contribute in things like polls and user submission, recommended books, and things like that, make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Besties in the Books podcast there. And then Fable will be at Besties in the Book Club if you would like to join our virtual antisocial social book club, you know?
Yay.
And we have buddy reads there and everything. It's super fun. There we go.
So, okay, so should we just kick it off with our fave and fail of the week then?
Fave and fail of the week. Let's go.
Okay. So, my fave of the week is actually very related to Besties in the Book Club.
Aw, look at us.
So, here we go. So, you know, you guys know I read a lot, listen to a lot of, you know, dark romance, smuttier audiobooks I appreciate. It's hard sometimes for me to listen to, like, fantasy on audiobook. Because I tend to, like, zone in and out. And I have to rewind a lot and stuff. And so, smut is great for that because it's like, oh, I think I missed something. Well, it's probably not going to come back, you know, like later on and be that important. So it's great. So I am listening to the audiobook version of Besties in the Book Club, our November read, which is Lights Out by Nevessa Allen, I want to say. I want to make sure that I'm saying that right. Yeah. And I just have to say, I thank the people who put this audiobook together.
Aww.
Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so Elena Wolf is the female voice narrator, and Jacob Morgan is the male voice narrator for Josh. And it is like, it's a dark stalker romance, but it's like...
Stalker?
Yeah.
I haven't started reading it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's December, so I've read it by now, but while filming this, no.
But it's it's like lighthearted.
Sports?
It's kind of,
okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like...
I didn't see that coming.
You know, when you say like a romance about two serial killers, you know, for Butcher and Blackbird, but it's funny and lighthearted. It's like that, but with stalker romance. It's like...
Let it be known that Ashley didn't realize until editing this video that Liz actually said stalker, not soccer. So I thought she was talking about a soccer romance, and I was very confused. But I have since realized that that's not at all what she said. Anyways, let's continue.
Cracking up half the time. Like, the male main character is like just a treat, like in every way imaginable. The main female character, she's awesome. So it's just like kind of like, it's like my version of a rom-com.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I think you'll actually really enjoy it. Like, it's very like quippy and funny. But specifically, I wanted to say that my fave of the week was the audiobook because, you know, I'm listening to it, whatever, and you've got your spicy scenes, which are always fun to listen to on audio when the guy's voice is good, which it is, just so you know. But I'm literally driving home. I can't remember where I was. I stopped at a stoplight, and since he is he's a stalker, he wears a mask. So that's kind of one of the, you know, tropes in this, masked men, because he knows her in real life. So he doesn't want her to know who he is. He also wears a voice modulator so that she can't recognize his voice. Okay, I kid you not, and this is a PSA for the people. I posted on my Instagram, but everyone needs to know. He sounds like Kylo Ren, okay, with the voice modulator on. Like when Kylo's wearing his mask. So listen, if you're a Reylo fan, if you're a Kylo fan, if you're an Adam Driver fan, like run to this audiobook ASAP. I was like, if they would have done the whole book in this, that would have been fine. It was only a section, obviously, but I was like, they could have done the whole thing like that. Yeah. It was great. So that was my fave of the week because I'm like, rarely does an audiobook at this point in time have me literally stopped at a stoplight. Like, I'm like clapping my hands. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like squealing. I'm like, I can't even. This is so crazy.
I love that for you. I do.
It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was my fave of the week. My fail of the week was like, I had a bunch of like non-reading related things that I was supposed to do this week. I did nothing. So like I did podcast stuff. I did, you know, like content, social media stuff. And then in the rest of the time, all I did was either listen to Lights Out or I'm doing my reread right now of A Court of Silver Flames. I'm about halfway through.
Nice.
That book is so freaking good. It's like, obviously I knew that.
Yeah.
But like, oh my gosh. The second
Yeah.
time, again, it's like I was never a rereader before we started rereading stuff for the podcast. And I'm just so glad because I'm loving it so much. So
Yeah.
that's my fail, is just that because I'm reading A Court of Silver Flames and Lights Out, I have everything else is dead to me. That's not book related.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye responsibilities. Goodbye world.
Goodbye world. Goodbye cruel world. Yeah. And yeah, if you guys aren't, we have a buddy read going for A Court of Silver Flames on Fable. And then we also have our Besties in the Book Club November read book club also for Lights Out. And you can always go back and reference those even if you read them later. So
yeah.
They're up there.
We should be having the live for that soon. If not, soon for that. So make sure to follow our Instagram where we're doing the lives for now until we probably eventually will change it over to the YouTube channel. But at Bestie in the Books podcast. So you can hear what all the thoughts are.
Yeah. So get yourself
What if I hate it? What if I'm like, ew?
If you hate it, like, that's fine, because we're all entitled to our own opinions, but that makes me sad.
Yeah.
It makes me sad.
Because I already bought it on Kindle, and then I was buying a bunch of Barnes & Noble's books, as one does, pre-orders, because, Lindsay, a little shout out to Lindsay Straube, who we had on the podcast for Split and Swallow, has been picked up by a publishing house. So the book is now, it's a series, Split or Swallow, and then the new working title is Kiss of the Basilisk. So you can pre-order it on Barnes & Noble's, and it has like beautiful sprayed edges and everything. That might be my favorite of the week, like for her. Like I'm so like cool. How cool. It's just so cool to like be able to witness the journey of an author.
Yeah,
like
totally.
So that was super cool. So I was placing my order in and getting any pre-orders that I wanted done, and they were doing buy one, get one half off. So way to circle back with that is, so I was like, I might as well buy Lights Out because everybody seems to love it. So do I want to buy the audio of it too? I don't know. We'll see. I'll see if I can finish it, and then if time constraints, then I'll bite the bullet and buy a third copy on Audible.
Well, I feel like if, like, for you, I feel like reading it might be fine, because like I don't know that like you really have like the masked man affinity that others have.
Yeah, I didn't because I don't like listening to smut very much. So
so I don't know that I would buy the audiobook then.
Okay, all right. So
like for you specifically.
For me. Yeah, for me specifically. Everybody else has to, but I get a pass.
Yeah. But like, I mean, it
just depends what you're into. Yeah.
It depends on what you're into. If you have any sort of like masked man kink or like anything related to that, then just get the audiobook.
Yeah.
These are the world's gifts to you. It's like we have to
Merry Christmas.
Like, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye.
Yeah. Enjoy.
So what was your fail of the week then?
So we'll say that for my fave, and then also I was watching my, my guy to watch my nephew the other day, and that was so cute. And we watched some Christmas movies. My girls came with me, and my husband brought us dinner, and so that was cute. So that was my other little quick fave. And then my fail of the week would be yesterday. Trying to decorate for Christmas while the puppy was out. So what was I thinking? I'm thinking I don't want her to be like in her crate. I want her to be out with us. So we put all fall away, which I think, dude, Christmas takes so much longer to put up. Fall I can put up for some reason. It seems like the same amount of stuff that I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But I put fall away like super fast, and then I'm like, okay, I can get her out, and then I have like the bins, and what is she? She just keeps, every time I turn away, she keeps going to the bins. Yeah. So that was on me. So I won't do that again.
She didn't eat anything though?
Oh, she tried. Yeah, she got a good branch when I turned my back and was, like a fake branch. So luckily I had to, make sure I got everything out of her mouth. And she had ripped, because she's not eating it. She's more like, like a therapy, like what is it called? Because she's picking at the little pine needles all over it. It's like, I don't know what kind of texture it is, but so it was all over the rug. Yeah. So I had to put her in her crate to run the vacuum. Then I just hurried up, and I didn't even finish though, because I still have to do the patio. Yeah. That's not even the Christmas tree. That's not even up yet. Good luck.
In her defense, it was a stick, right?
I mean, stick like And I mean, I get it. She's 5 months old. So, you know, I get it.
But I mean, my dogs are like 10 and 8, and I still put them in the other room or outside when I'm decorating for Christmas, because I don't want them all in my biz, you know?
Yeah, because they trip you. And I tried my best to, like, I put her on her bed with a new bone thing, you know, a no hide, whatever, and put her there. She's happy, she's content, and then I started doing this stuff, and she tricked me. So, you know, it's like it's fun for them to, like, pull. I forget, there's like, they have that new toy for kids that's like a pulling. It's like, forget the word for it. It's like a fidget. So it was like a fidget for her, but like for a dog, sure.
Yeah.
So they should just make that. I'll clean it up after. That's fine. But that's what makes her happy.
Yeah.
A lot of dogs would swallow it, though, so that wouldn't be good. Anyway, so lesson probably not learned, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So there we go.
There we go. So, okay, so should we just get into Mr. Jingle?
Mr. Jingle. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, golly.
Oh, golly.
What a ride.
So we'll be getting into spoilers moving forward, right? Pretty much.
Pretty much. We'll do like a 1-sentence review, you know, it's a spice rating, and then no holds bar, guys.
Yeah.
So why don't you kick us off with your rating? We haven't talked about these books almost at all, other than like, ah!
Yeah. Like a WTF moment.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I rated Mr. Jingle 3 stars because while it was surprises around every turn and quite original, I would say that, like, for me personally, as a short, smutty novella, the smut wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
However, if it's your thing, good for you. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. It's great.
The spice rating, I would say probably like a 4. Like a 4 out of 5 spice rating on this. Very niche. A very niche spice rating.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard because it's almost like, I would say if it wasn't so specifically niche, it would be more like a 3. But, like, because there's some potentially, I don't want to say, like, there are some triggering things in this book that we'll talk about, but it doesn't really have to do with them, like the two,
well,
like,
it does
together.
say it this way. It's a monster romance.
Yeah, okay,
so
that's an easy way to say it.
That's not spoiler, so there's things involved. When sometimes you read a monster romance that has to do with smut, sometimes there's things involved. So I feel like that's not spoilery. It's on the cover. I think it says, like, part of a monster romance series that this girl has. That's true.
Yeah.
So just know that.
Yeah. So I'd say, like, if it wasn't monster romance, it'd be like a 3, but I'm bumping it up to a 4 because it's super, like, specifically monstery. Yeah. We'll say. Yeah. Okay. What about you?
So I'm going to preface this by saying I gave the last one by her full sack 4 to 5 stars. Okay. This one I very biasly am giving 3 stars because of some of the things that I just couldn't.
Oh, I knew it. As soon as I, like, started reading it, I was like, Ashley is going to freak out about
freaking out, and it was so much of it. Okay, so my sentence is, wow, what a ride. Yep. If you would like a monster romance Christmas story that, like Liz says, you know, having a wild turn around every corner, this one's for you. Have at it.
Of it coming. Yeah.
The end.
Okay. Yeah. Would you agree on the spice? It's kind of hard, I feel like, to rate.
It's
like,
hard.
If you were also a monster, it would probably be pretty tame.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and and the frequency, like, it's a short book as it is, so I'm like trying to fit, you know, it's pretty frequent once it gets going, but 5, I don't think 5 spicy. I think 4 is good. I think 4 is good. Yeah. All right, so there you go, guys. Now we're gonna unveil the spoilers, unveil everything there is to talk about. Let's go. I can't even there's my sound because I can't even wrap my brain around this book.
So, okay, so we're just going to start off with just a brief summary of like what this book is about, just to kind of like put things into context for you guys before we continue on.
Yeah.
So, okay. You have this woman who she's an author, right? Or a painter.
Artist.
Like she's an artist of some kind. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's an artist of some kind who's been like experiencing a lot of like online bullying and ridicule that has then spilled over into her personal life with people stalking her. We don't really get a whole lot of like backstory on that. I get it. It's a novella, so it's not like I was expecting a whole lot of, you know, like I guess you could call it quote unquote world building or setup. But it was still a little ambiguous. Like, why are people coming for this chick like so hard? Like, it just seemed like her whole world was kind of like falling apart.
Yeah, we kind of have to fill in the blanks a little bit, I felt like, with her story. Yeah.
So this is going on. So she's kind of like becoming kind of homebound where she doesn't want to leave very often. Like, she's just really struggling with some stuff. And it's like the plot when you say it out loud. You're like, this makes no sense. But like when you're reading it, it does though.
Well, kind of, yeah.
So here she is, and I read this like really fast and kind of a little while ago. So correct me if I'm getting something wrong. But here she is at home, and basically like a paranormal like monster being.
Yeah.
Who was living in her magical mirror.
Yeah.
busts out, and it essentially takes on the form of one of her, like, guys that she draws.
Yeah.
Which I thought that part was cool. Except his face. Yeah. Well, because she draws him later. Him a face later.
But that was when he was describing, or she was describing his face when he first came out, because it was unfinished. Yeah. I was horrified.
Yeah, it sounded really odd. So
he has like a ornament bell, jingle bell hanging off his nose. Like, that's his nose is a jingle bell.
And
Mr. Jingle.
You know what?
Yeah, and as you know what, it was a whole mess. Okay, so I'm gonna fill in some of the blanks for you here.
Okay.
So he's like weird. So he was like banished to Earth because he's like this bad, evil deity. He was banished to Earth. She's watching, and he's somehow in her mirror. He's watching her. He's changing his mind about humanity because of her. So he doesn't want to eat the world anymore, but he wants her. And he's watching her spiral into a depression, and he's so distraught, and he wants to be the one to save her. And he's in the mirror somehow manifesting different body parts.
Well,
so like
he
was
like,
crazy.
Yeah, he was like banished to like live in the mirror as part of like a curse or something.
Yeah,
right? Like someone cursed
like
him and like trapped him in this mirror that she like bought at like this antique store or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he's watching her go through her like fight, like really depression. She has stalkers coming after her, and then I think he made a heart for himself, and I think he was like overwhelmed with all the like emotions and craziness, and he busts out of the mirror at like 7 a.m. And so she wakes up with this naked giant man, and she draws like really intense male art, and and he didn't have a full face yet though, and I don't remember the entire description. I wish I saved it, but it sounds horrifying.
I mean, it didn't like, it was kind of, he's like half man, half monster. So it's like he kind of has he has a man body.
Yeah.
But then he has like essentially like kind of like a half mask, no face kind of situation going on. And then he also has like some kind of tentacle like devices that I think is what threw Ashley like.
I mean, well, we didn't find out about that until like a little bit later.
Yeah. So I think they can
at
like
the worst
appear,
time to find it.
I think they can appear and disappear like at his will, so they're not like out all the time. And then she draws like monster, like not safe for work art or whatever. So he also obviously has like monster male anatomy situation going on too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he busts out of this mirror. She's like obviously afraid of him, but also intrigued by him because it's kind of cool that he looks like her character.
Yeah, she's like, something's with that, you know?
And, you know, he gains her trust basically by, like, attacking one of her would-be attackers who, you know, was... like
he was like stalking her outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
And things were going to like a bad place. So like trigger warning for like sexual assault. And so that was going to happen. But then this monster dude that shoots out of her like magical mirror basically saves her from that.
Imagine if this was a movie.
Dude, so crazy.
What would be going on? Yeah.
What even is happening? And so kind of gains her trust that way. And he doesn't actually kill the guy. He like basically debilitates him and then calls the cops because he can infiltrate like the internet and stuff with his like, I don't know, otherworldly powers.
Well, he sees on his phone that she's not the first, and he has a lot of evidence on his phone too.
Yeah. So he basically exposes him and then also calls the cops. So that's cool. And then, I mean, they basically just go back to her house and end up, like, being together, right? That's, like, what happened.
Yeah, and pretty much just do it for most of the rest of the thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, you get to hear all about that. You know, I know some people love monster romance, so, you know, monster smut, so have at it. But for me, tentacles, I'm out. Mm-hmm. They're very closely aligned with Carden's tale, and I am not here for it in the slightest.
I mean, I did think it was cool that, like, he could essentially use them to, like, show her his thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, that was neat. I was like, okay, that was very, like, kind of sci-fi-y, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, so that was another thing that helped gain her trust also, was that he was able to, like, show her his whole entire past and how he had, like, fallen for her and come to be within, like, 2 seconds because he was able to just go into her brain and, like, show her all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of tentacle sex.
Yeah. Listen, it's a really well-written story. Minus there's some ambiguous with the girl, with the main character. It's not really what it's about, though.
No.
You know, you have to understand what it's about. It's not that it's just not our thing, you know? It's not my thing. It's just the tentacles is not something I like. So, you know, but some people love it.
Yeah, and it was a very original, you know, it's like we got to give it to her. It was a very original story.
Yes.
And she has a way of telling these very original stories in extremely, you know, effective visual imagery ways. Yeah. So, you know, that's a talent right there.
It is, for sure. Yeah. So we pretty much end with happily ever after. Yeah. She takes him to the Christmas village because you might be wondering, what does this have to do with... you might be wondering, what does this have to do with Christmas? This is obviously set during Christmas time.
Yeah.
His name is Mr. Jingle. He gave himself that name?
Yes.
She tries calling him something else.
She tried
maybe
calling
like whatever
him,
his painting.
Yeah, the name of her character, and he was like, no.
He corrects her multiple times.
Yeah,
it's Jingle. Like, Mr. Monster, please. Out of all the names you could have named yourself, okay, all right, sure. And another thing is, she takes him to like this Christmas village and is like showing him that side. We'll talk about what we don't like and what we did like, but and then basically we find out at the end this was a crossover book because it's all mixed with the other books.
The Satan Christmas book that she has too,
which is basically like Santa but Satan. So, because that was the other Christmas book we were trying to decide between, I think. Yeah. So that's Christmas one, right?
Yeah.
So he was the one that cursed him. Mm-hmm. And then they basically, wait, hang on. Okay. Of course. So the author definitely has a thing for making male, fill in the blank, taste like your favorite thing.
Yeah.
Be a favorite thing. Make things. Because it's the second book now we've read of hers where he specifically was on the hunt. So obviously her favorite drink was eggnog to make it Christmassy. Which like so grosses me out to have that. You know, you guys know what I mean? You guys understand? I'm trying to keep it uncensored. Or I'm trying to keep it censored. So fill in the blanks. And then, like, he can also... it also sustains her, so she'll be immortal with him as long as
that was cool.
It's cool. It's very useful.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna...
But I'm just saying, like, the author definitely has a thing for that.
Yeah. Multi-purpose.
It's a theme. Yeah.
Multi-purpose.
Magical excrements.
No. Oh my god. It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, there's a way to do it. And I guess eternal youth, youthfulness. Like,
yeah, so then when they go and meet the guy, they want to make sure everybody's good. Him and Satan. Which we haven't read that book, so I don't know if it's really Satan or if that's just his name. I don't know. And because he does it too. He makes cookies with his.
I didn't realize that.
In order.
What?
This was. Oh, did you not read the epilogue?
I thought I did.
Okay,
but maybe I forgot that part or something.
Yeah, you blacked it out. He makes eggnog. And Satan makes cookies, and they have to eat each other.
Oh, no, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me.
It's like a brother, what is that? Like where they spit on the hands and shake. It's basically equivalent to like a truce.
Yeah.
But they have to I don't know. And the girls were both, because it's Mrs. Claus, I guess, and this girl, and they're just like, weird. Okay, whatever. I guess they're squashed now. I guess we're good. It was just funny.
I forgot about that. That's hilarious. I must have been reading that, like, quote unquote, after dark, and maybe, like, it just, like, went away into the brain somewhere,
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Okay.
So
let's talk about our likes and our dislikes. What's something that you liked about this book, Liz?
I liked the fact that she bought him at an antique store in a magic cursed mirror. I was like, that's actually a really cool concept.
Yeah. Very like 80s cool.
Yeah.
Like 80s, fantasy.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. I was like, I like that. That's original and interesting. And so that I was into. Like, I almost would want like a story about something like that. That's like maybe just, I don't know, more developed,
Yeah.
What did I not like about it? Truly, like, the smut was not really my thing in this book. So, like, I would say, it wasn't written particularly cringy. It's not like I was mad at the writing. It's just the content wasn't really for me. So that's kind of what I disliked about it. But that's a me problem. That's not necessarily like a book problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you?
What I liked about this book is the same thing that I liked about Full Sack, is that I'm going through all the shocked emotion. Like, I'm actually making facial expressions, listening to this, reading it, because I'm kind of switching between back and forth, just like, I always happen to be in my kitchen, and I'm just like, what did I just listen to? What's happening? He did what? So I love that about it because, it's so original. Yeah. You don't see it coming. You just don't.
You really don't.
What I didn't like about it, very specific. I actually don't like the main MMC very much. He's okay. He's kind of like weird. Like too puppy doggy, but like obviously he has that possessiveness and but like I didn't like that he was like that, but then also like, okay, we're reading about like the fantasy man, right? And then he's still like being a little biatch about having to go to this Christmas village that she wants to go to.
I know.
His internal monologue, like he wants to like break the world for her and everything, but he's like, ew, I have to go to this stupid Christmas thing. It's like, we can't have a guy just go with it. I don't want to hear about his freaking temper tantrum internally, like,
well, and not only that, but it's
annoyed to go.
You've been like literally cursed and trapped inside of a mirror for who knows how many years, and like you're gonna complain about going to a Christmas thing. Come on,
give me a break. So that was my least favorite thing about it.
Yeah,
because like we could have done without that.
It's true.
Like even if he was like anything for you, like show me what you love, like because then he gets there obviously and has a great time, as they all do. They just have to like throw a little fit about it. Can we not read about it? Thanks.
I know. Seriously.
It's supposed to be the perfect fantasy monster.
Yeah.
He's out.
Yeah, he's out. No, I agree. So what was like the thing you hated the most though, like about this book? Like hated the most?
Oh, I mean just tentacles.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the thing that I hated the most. Because, like, I don't know that would be it. Like, I didn't love that, but I didn't hate it either. It was just kind of like, for me, it's very, like, neutral. Just kind of like whatever. I think for me, it was, like, the fact that I think I kind of have, as we're reading more books, like, with male characters like this, I think I'm realizing I get why they're written this way. Okay, so when they're like some very, I don't know, like ancient, you know, like deity or, you know, like whatever, god, mythical creature of some kind or whatever, who goes back millennia. And so they don't really understand our modern society. It kind of reminded me a lot of like Pestilence, like the main guy in that book. Or
yes, he did remind me of that guy.
Yeah. Or like Sam Keel from Book of Azrael in the beginning. I'm not into that because it's like this idea that they're so advanced that now they're dumb again. It's like it's like it's like a full circle like thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like you're so advanced that you're too simple, and it's like I can't connect with like a male character like that.
Yeah,
because they're just it's like caveman status.
Yeah. I see what you're saying because they're not socially developed.
No,
to our social norms.
Exactly. Yeah.
For sure.
Which it's like...
And then you have to teach them.
Yeah.
So, like, now she has to be a teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so what's the point of being with someone who's thousands of years old if he can't even, like, figure it out?
That's where we draw the line.
Yeah. Draw the line. It needs to be in
the
middle.
We don't need them to be 1,000 because, like, because we like 1,000 years old. It's because they're mature.
Right.
In all aspects.
Yeah.
You're right. You just unlocked a big, like, thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A trope that we do not like.
Too old.
Old men that are immortal and don't know Jack.
They like know too much to where it makes them dumb again. Does that make sense? It's like
because they know it's like they're book smart, but they're not street smart.
Yeah. Or like it just doesn't matter to them because they understand the vastness of the universe. So they understand too well that we're just like a speck of nothingness. Yeah. So then they can't invest themselves properly. It's like, no, we can't. Like you can't have that much perspective to where you're that out of touch. You know what I mean? And be interesting to me.
Yeah.
So that's what I didn't like.
Yeah. Fair.
So what did you think about the slot? I can't even talk. The slot ratio, the plot versus smut ratio.
That was about right.
Yeah,
I think
I would agree.
No notes on that for personally.
Yeah,
it's good.
It was fine for what it was. I felt like it was worked in properly for the length of the book.
Yeah.
So so I have a few reviews for this one.
Okay.
That I got off of Goodreads. So there were 825 ratings. So not a ton, but also not like the smallest amount that we've ever seen. The average was a 3.78. So not bad. There was quite a lot of 5 stars. So let's see. The best kind of weird. To be honest, this was not exactly what I was expecting with this book, but it was better. Jingle is a type of otherworld creature who is called Destroyer because he had a habit of eating entire planets. After being cursed and stuck inside of a mirror for millennia, he meets Kelly. So it's like... I feel like the people who are rating it 5 stars kind of like that it has that setup, which I would agree because I feel like that was kind of interesting to me too, like in the beginning. Yeah. That was Jenny Gray on Goodreads. And then Nina rated it also 5 stars. She said, I enjoyed this book. It was such a fun read with a really unique male lead. I like that Jingle created a physical body for himself and designed a certain body part to match a drawing Kelly, the female lead, and artist had done. Such steamy chemistry between them. I couldn't put this down and probably one of my favorites from this author. 5 stars. So
nice. Yeah,
it kind of seems like, if you go into it with an open mind.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
And you have to know you're just in for a fun time with it.
So, as we do, we also have to, read a couple 1-star reviews. Yeah. So, this one will have a bad word in it, but it's necessary. So, Z reviewed Mr. Jingle 1 stars. Now, why the hell did I read that willingly? I am at a loss of words. Who published this? So, and it's a long review, but I'll just read you the beginning. So the story starts with this amazing dude who is horny, trapped in a mirror, and has an octopus instead of his dick. I was like, actually, that's pretty accurate, for sure. Yeah. So that was kind of funny. Barca rated it 1 star. Literature is alive and well. was like, that's my kind of sarcasm right there. I love it. 1 star from Case. I'm sorry, the FMC in this book was unbearable. I'm like, I don't really agree with that, but that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I thought this was pretty accurate. She said this was A Girl Amongst Books, rated at 1 star. I have read every Monster Ever After book by Miss Fae, except for Bunny, because yes, there is one about the Easter Bunny. This was by far my least favorite. It was just too much. All of her Monster Ever After books are absurd. That's the draw of them. While I've rated them all about the same, this book was the worst for me. It didn't really follow the same formula, and it was considerably longer. So,
okay, that's good to know, I think.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting
take. That
means
the only way to go is up from here.
Yeah. Mr. Bunny sounds terrifying.
We might have to do it.
I feel like we need to have a crow episode, and we need to read the crow one, because to me that's the one that's like really calling my name, you know.
There's another one you were recommended too by somebody. It's one of you listeners out there. You sent it to me.
Oh, another book about crows. Yes.
Yeah.
That
so
one,
we have to do that. So do a crow episode.
Yeah, that's
like
not
a
cringy.
fun little spring episode with crows. So
that
was not cringy.
No, it's not cringy. That one's good. That one's actually like a good book.
We'll just do some crow science, you know? We'll do one good crow and one unhinged crow.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So that was Mr. Jingle.
Yep. Now we're going to be talking about Hunted in Holly. So, Hunted in Holly is going to be, it's a 4-star for me.
It was a 4-star for me, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was, listen, if you would like a little Santa smut, morally gray Santa smut, with some chasing, some little cat and mouse, you know, then this book's for you. Happy holidays. Enjoy.
Happy holidays.
What's your sentence?
Yeah, kind of same thing. Like, I really enjoyed this book. It was a 4-star read for me because of the fact that, yeah, it's like if you want a dark romance but Santa.
Yeah.
It's great. Enjoy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. I would say the spice on this one was probably more like a 3-star or 3 spice.
I would say 3 because there are some triggering things in there. It's not super frequent.
No.
So, but there are some triggering stuff that we'll get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to give us the summary? What is Hunted in Holly about?
Well, the newly appointed Queen of the South Pole has gone to the North Pole to kill Santa Claus, to kill Christmas. And because she believes that Santa had gone to her village and slaughtered her mother, who was the queen, her father, or her brother, excuse me, who was next in line, and the village. And there's even rumor that maybe another village, the equator or something too. So she goes to take one for the team and seek revenge on Santa Claus.
Yep, by killing him.
Well, by killing him. So she has ice powers, kind of like Elsa. Ooh, yeah. So it's like, and I just realized that. So it's like an Elsa, you know, dark romance too.
Yeah.
Santa Claus and Elsa, morally gray,
unlikely pair.
dark romance, an unlikely pair. And so she is told that you have to take her ice. I'm picturing a icicle.
Yeah.
Make an icicle, stab him in the heart. He's dead. Christmas is ruined for everybody. Great. Actually, the evil is rid from the world, as she so believes. Well, he is Santa Claus, and he sees you when you're sleeping, and he knows when you're awake, and he knows when you're crossing the North Pole border, and he knew she was coming. So he instantly stops her in her tracks, but he also kind of wants to see, he loves her. So it's an instant, he falls in love with her instantly. Spoilers, by the way. So, love at first sight for him. He falls first. And he uses a tranquilizer, knocks her out. She wakes up, and he's kind of like, Mel, if you really want to kill me, just do it. Because he just wants to see how far she'll go. She does kill him, but he doesn't, because that's not how you kill him, because he's an immortal being, and it takes a lot more than icicle to the heart to kill Santa Claus, just so you know. Fun fact.
Just so
no
you
kids
know.
are listening, by the way. No kids are listening, by the way, out there. So he laughs it off. Haha, basically. I'm alive.
And she
like
definitely has the hots for him too, but she like also hates him
Oh,
because she
yeah.
thinks that he killed her whole family and destroyed her town and whatever.
So you hear an internal conflict. She's definitely a badass FMC. And while she's thinking about killing him, you find out she's never killed anybody before. She's struggling. It's Santa Claus. So she's going for it. And then obviously there's tension and heat and some buildup that's going on, if you know what I mean. And yeah, but then she doesn't ends up doing it. But then he's actually alive. But he makes a deal with her when he wakes up or whatever and is like, okay, I'll give you 3 days to escape my fortress, like my North Pole, whatever the area is.
Here's a bag of cookies and candies.
He also lets her like recover for a few days.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then in 3 days. So like by time Christmas comes, then if I don't have you in my clutches again, you can be free. If not, you have to stay with me.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right. I mean, she has to make the deal because what else is she gonna do? So yeah, he fills her bag with treats and delights of cookies and probably eggnog. I don't remember. And holly and mistletoe and all these kinds of things for her to use, rope, all that stuff. So she, day one, he finds her right away because he can smell her and he has all these superpowers. So he finds her right away. He always knows where she's at. She knows where you were sleeping. Come on. But she thinks she has a fighting chance because she also has powers. Then she realizes, okay, I can't actually run and outrun him. So I need to try to trap him. So she comes up with this idea of basically somehow this crazy montage happens of them aggressively ice skating at each other. Yeah. And I'm like, Liz has to be dying reading this because the pirouetting is pirouetting. Yeah. Okay.
So much.
That's probably what gave it not 5 stars for her. Yeah. It's the fact that so much ice skating is involved.
There was 2 things. It was that and one other thing.
Yeah. Somehow his ice skates I missed this part. Somehow his ice skates were in the water, and so when she like flipped him over somehow or something, and like he's trapped under there and he has to untie his laces, and she thinks somehow that she just still doesn't know. No, she knows how to kill him, right? At this point, he told her, you have to cut off my head. Yeah. That's how you do it. Just like the Fae, And so she thinks maybe she's not trying to kill him at that point. She just wants longer time to get away. I don't remember. Well, he's very unhinged, okay? So he obviously gets out. He pulls her under too. Mm-hmm. And so that was crazy. And then an abominable snowman comes to the edge. And so they have to like escape him, right?
Yeah.
And then they have to like run because the ice is breaking. It was a whole chaotic scene.
But it was good. It was like entertaining.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. She gets knocked out. He skins the abominable snowman, but not without the author telling you, don't worry, they're magical creatures. They will regenerate. The abominable snowman will be fine. Because I was like, geez, Santa, like he's killing his creatures. That's crazy. Oh, okay, good. They're not actually dead. Yeah. So he warms her up, and then we get a pretty heavy smut. There's definitely a few smut scenes already at this point. This one I think is a little triggering because she's asleep.
Yeah, she's asleep.
It's non-consensual. So I was a little about that stuff, personally. And then he leaves. She's left alone in the morning. And then the last day, what was the last day? She was just hiding in a tree and waiting for him to ambush him. So eventually they fall in love and she's Mrs. Claus.
Well, there was something, because I'm forgetting now. Wasn't there something with the mistletoe?
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. He was like, you silly little lady. You had what was... So mistletoe is an enchanted like thing that happened millennia ago. It's supposed to keep him in check, essentially, and certain magical beings. So she could have used that to like get away from him somehow. Mm-hmm. But instead, she's just carrying it with her, so he was always able to find her. Yeah. Because he has to follow wherever the mistletoe is. So that was quite the scene. I gotta say, that was a pretty good little spicy scene there, because he's putting it all over, and he has to follow the trail, if you know what I mean. So if you're into that, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, well, and then the ending is, it's basically the origin story of Mrs. Claus.
Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot about the ending. Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, so... It was Krampus all along.
Yeah. So she
shows
finds
her.
out that it wasn't him that destroyed her village and was like this evil person.
Yeah.
It was actually Krampus, who we don't meet or anything like that, but it's just like a concept. And then, and then they end up living happily ever after as Mr.
Well,
and Mrs. Claus.
and he has Krampus in his jail cell.
Oh, that's
'Cause she's
right.
like, oh crap. She thought, okay, now I have to go live as this prisoner. Wait, I'll be your wife. That's fine. Because he wants her to be his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He wants her to be Mrs. Claus. He's like, he has that internal monologue all the time. And then it's Krampus, and then she gets to kill Krampus, right? I think, with her ice powers. Something like that.
I don't remember.
Well, you
that
guys
part.
read it, you let us know. And then
A lot happened in a book of this length. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was a lot for how short it was.
Yeah.
And then they basically live happily ever after. Christmas is saved.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it. Let's talk about something that you liked about this book. You lead the way.
I really liked the MMC. I thought he was great.
Yeah.
Like a hot Santa. Great.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Like he was super hot Santa Claus with chasing through the woods. And like if any of that kind of darker romance stuff is your thing, you'll definitely like it, I think. That was my favorite part about it. I really liked that aspect. Honestly, the thing that I hated the most wasn't the ice skating. As much as I didn't like that, it wasn't my least favorite thing. My least favorite thing was the fact that they described his eyes as being really red.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And he's got blonde hair. You know what I mean? It's
he's Santa.
Yeah, he's Santa. He's got like white hair. It's like the hot version of he's got white hair, but the red eyes, I'm like, I don't know.
They should have, I thought, because when I first was reading it, I thought it was green. I was like, oh, that's so cool because you got the red outfit and the crazy green eyes.
Yeah.
And then when it comes up a couple times and she mentions they're glowing red again, I was like, oh, wait, no. Green would have been so cool if they were an intense, almost glowing green.
Well, that's we just read Phantasma. That's exactly how they describe him.
Yeah.
With bright green, beautiful green eyes and blonde hair. So
it's great. You made it weird with the red eyes after reading this entire book.
I know. I think I texted you.
Stuff.
I was like, this is very albino rat adjacent,
Yeah.
It kind of freaked me out. So I had a hard time with the visual on that, but I tried to just push it out of my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you?
Yeah.
What was something you liked and didn't like?
I liked the MMC was great. If you're gonna write a morally gray hot Santa, I thought that was great.
Spot on.
A great balance. Well done. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then same FMC. What I liked so much was that she consistently kept trying to kill him. She wasn't pulling back. She pulled back, but overall, she kept her intentions clear. She wasn't going to instantly fall in love with him,
Yeah.
and just oh well, she didn't really struggle. She was pretty much on her mission. I liked that. So many times we see the women also just kind of oh well, I'm just gonna be in love,
Yeah.
and that's all fine and dandy, but not when it's high stakes, so she pretty much kept with it until she found out about Krampus. She kept trying to plot his murder, his demise.
Totally.
So I appreciated that. She wasn't so quick to fall for him.
Yeah, she wasn't oh my God, your red beady eyes are so beautiful. So then what was the thing that you hated the most? Did you tell me that already?
I didn't like the non-consent. I'm sure that is a trope that happens. I don't read a lot of dark romance, but I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, when she's sleeping, ooh,
It was definitely just go into it knowing that that's one of the trigger warnings for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all, but I could see how it could bother some people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you think about the plot versus smut ratio in this one?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It was good.
I
You got
agree.
the build up and then you got the payoff and it's balanced well, not too much, not too little. I thought it was good.
Yeah. I feel as we're talking this out, I want to look up this author because I did really enjoy this. And I feel for such a short book, it really did pack a lot in there. And so I feel we need to see if this author has written any longer dark romances because I'd be into reading those, Yeah.
Yeah. Because, if honestly, if we're talking about our star rating again, I haven't read that many smut holiday romances,
No.
Come on. It could be a 5-star. It just depends what else is out there. Because overall, yeah, I think it did good, especially for how short it is. Like you said,
Yeah.
it packed a lot in there. You have the history, you have the lore, you have the world building, you're in it, you know? It might not stick with me, but that could be because of personal preference, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, do you have some reviews for us?
I do. So this one didn't have quite as many. I went off of Goodreads and it only had 182 ratings so far. Overall, 4.19 stars.
Okay.
Only 1-star review so far submitted. And it says, from Harley, honestly, I'm really upset I had to rate this book so low. I thought I was going to like it due to all the good reviews I read, but I was not a fan of the writing and I was just bored. I've yet to DNF a book, so continued reading. I'm not sure if I found it boring because it was short story or what, but I can say this book will not live in my head. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I felt like the writing was pretty good though.
I did too.
Yeah. All right. So I did a 1-star, a 3-star, and a 5-star since there weren't that many reviews overall.
Okay.
So the next one is Book It All Away. Oh, Jingle All the Way. 3 stars. It was very entertaining. I like the spin on the North and the South Pole and St. Nick. Yeah. And she doesn't have to call him Santa Claus. She calls him Nicholas. So that's good too.
She doesn't have to call him Santa Claus.
Yeah. Santa Claus.
Imagine.
I like that he was a bit darker than our childhood stories. Yeah.
I mean, a lot darker. a little bit dark.
A little bit darker. And Noelle was a quirky bird too. Her name wasn't actually Noelle, right? That was just his nickname for her, which I actually liked.
What was her
cute.
name? I don't remember.
I don't remember now.
Yeah.
It was very fast-paced and fun and spicy. I liked the bit of banter we got from them. Yeah. It just didn't go much beyond that. It was purely entertaining short story. Fits the bill. If you're looking for more, this book is not for you. If you're looking for more serious, in-depth, plot-heavy, then this book is not for you. Yeah. It's not going to be that. And then 5 stars from Leann. So it's been a kind of a long year full of emotionally heavy and complex books. I didn't actually intend to read this book at all, but after whatever last one she read, she needed a hard, dirty, low stress, and dark mental palate cleanser. Why am I like this? So hey, we get it. Naturally, that turned into Santa hunting his future wife to the woods for spicy times. She said, if you're like me and have always wanted a Christmas story that's a little less, I never know how to say this word. Saccharin? Saccharin? Sarkrin? Saccharin?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Saccharin?
I don't know how to say that.
Saccharin?
I don't know.
Anyway, Sagrin? I don't know. Somebody's yelling at me. Anyways.
What does it mean? Just a little less sweet? Is that what they mean?
Instead, I don't know. And is instead full of primal kink, nutmeg, and running through the snow and pine trees. This is for you. Happy holidays.
That's so funny. I agree with that for sure. Yeah, it's like, do you want like a super dirty Santa who, literally will chase you through the woods, but like will also pack you a backpack of cookies?
Yeah, what's not to like?
What's not to like?
I can dig it.
I can forget about the red eyes.
I mean, green eyes.
That's
though.
it. Green
we'll switch
eyes.
them out.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want mentally. So
magic.
Switch it out.
Yeah.
You're like, here, I'll be with you. We gotta change your eyes.
Yeah, we gotta work on that.
Yeah, he's magic. Come on.
Yeah,
he can do it. He can do it. All right.
So just to wrap it up, do you understand why holiday smut is a microtrope? Like why people would be into this?
I get why people would be into it.
Yeah.
I think Santa especially. I was thinking about this. Growing up, I didn't get it, obviously. But the song Santa Baby, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of sexy Santa songs that we grew up on, somewhat secretly, somewhat not. And we're always like, as kids, like, ew, what? But then like, okay, I get that there's a market for it. I see that. I mean, he's a fae, essentially.
Yeah, totally.
So what's not to love, okay? Depending on the version, you know?
Well,
then, I think that's all I had to say about that. What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, like, the the magical world-eating alien shooting out of a mirror, just because he calls himself Jingle doesn't necessarily make it Christmas. So I don't know that I necessarily understand that specifically as being like a Christmassy thing. But as far as what you're saying, sexy Santa, because like let's be real, like you picture the version of Santa that does it for you. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, and the holidays are all about love. So I could see that. Yeah. You know, people fall in love.
I get it. I get
Love it. It's great.
Are you into Christmassy smut now?
I guess it would just depend. Yeah. But I did really enjoy Hunting and Holly. So
Me too.
We'll have to see if we could top it next year. You know?
Me too.
I'm looking forward to next year. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I completely agree with you. Like, up until this point, I had never read any Christmas, like, aside from, like, A Court of Frost and Starlight.
Yeah.
You know, I hadn't really read anything, like, spicy Christmas that wasn't just, like, corny or, like, closed door Hallmark romance, like, movies and stuff like that. So it wasn't really my thing. But I do like Christmas romance. Obviously, I like things like Love Actually and whatever. And so I liked that this was, like, a dark version of that. Like, that's more of my jam. So I get it. I'm into it. I like it.
How about this? If we weren't doing the podcast, or for some reason we didn't do that episode next year, which we definitely will, though. But if we weren't, would you on your own read, like, a holiday smut for funsies?
If I could find, like, another dark romance one, then yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like, why not?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, because I mean, that's what I was going to ask you. Are you going to read any more for the podcast next year? And then who knows? Maybe. Just maybe. But yeah, it would have to specifically be dark. I have no interest in reading, like, I don't know.
This was a good Santa, I gotta say.
Yeah, he was a great Santa.
Say. Because he wasn't, you know, cheesy at all. I didn't think
he was cheesy either.
He's believable in his morally grayness. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then he's also spreading joy. It's a good balance.
Yeah, and he really wasn't
joy to the world.
Like, he was morally gray, but he wasn't evil. It was like Krampus was the one that's evil. That's why, like, I kind of want to, like, read a Krampus book. That's what I'm interested in. Like, because he'll
try to do one of those next year. Yeah. Yeah. He's like a resend of Santa Claus. So there we go.
Yeah, kind of. Totally.
Yeah, where he's like, you know, he'll do he killed Krampus. Like, he'll torture some people, you know, in the name of love and joy to the world.
Yeah.
But he's also a good guy.
Yeah,
so.
But he's not going to go, like, you know, destroy someone's whole entire home for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to do that. Yeah.
There we go. That's good.
So, that was Hunted and Holly. Should we wrap it up with a Christmas-themed Smash or Pass?
Yes, we shall.
Okay. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I'm going to hit you right now.
Okay.
Because this actually was like, oh, I'm not into it, but maybe this will inspire some people to read Hunted in Holly.
Okay.
If the Santa Claus 2, okay, you've ever seen that? Santa Claus 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They make a kind of, it's made out of a toy, but it's like a toy Santa Claus. Okay. Smash or pass, that one.
The toy Santa Claus? I don't remember
that. He's
kind
of, he's like, it is Tim Allen, but they make him robotic. It's an essence, it's a vibe. He's very totalitarian. And you don't remember this? I just watched it with my kids last night.
I haven't seen it in like years. I haven't seen it in years.
You people out there, we're going to put this to the polls this weekend. You can let us know.
I'm looking it up.
I don't think the visual will do it for you. It's more of like, it's creepy because it's very Buzz Lightyear because it's Tim Allen, but it's his personality. It's his personality. I mean, I'm still a pass either way, but I know some people are going to be a hard smash.
I am terrified by this, and I am saying pass 100,000,000%. It's freaking me out. It's freaking me out.
Yeah, because he's like, they put like prosthetics on him or not. They like made him super smooth. His hair. The hair, like the plasticky Ken doll hair.
Yeah, you'll have to just you'll have to insert some visual aids for us. But this is terrifying. So I'm going to have to like rewatch it. But as it is now, that is a pass for sure.
Yeah.
So far, I think the hottest version of Santa that we have in any like, you know, modern film was the one that I asked you about a while back. From that Netflix movie. What was it? My sister had me watch it. Now I'm blanking out on the name of it. Where he's like he looks like a Viking, but he's Santa.
I don't know. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. My girls were just watching the Chronicles of Christmas Chronicles. He's a famous actor who plays Santa, but I was like, okay, I could see. He's a good looking guy. His beard is really cool. It's like really like it has these hard curls on it. I don't know. I liked it.
We watched that too. Who is that?
It's a famous guy. No, is it?
It says the Christmas Chronicles. It's Kurt Russell.
Yeah, is that? Yeah, okay. That's the best looking Kurt Russell. He looks good as Santa Claus. I gotta say, because He's never done it for me. Kurt Russell's never done it for me.
No.
But as Santa, okay. Because he's meatier looking.
I remember, yeah, like, because I saw that a while ago. I'll have to, like, rewatch it. I don't know if it was a smash for me, but, like, yeah, I mean, he played a good Santa. But no, that's not
because so far that's the one. Okay, what do you think? Which one?
No, it's like the Viking looking. He's animated. I know I asked you about him a while back. Like,
what animated?
Oh my God, why am I, like, blanking
there?
out on it? Hold on.
There's like a million Christmas movie names out there. They all have the same name almost.
Oh, it's like Klaus. It's that.
You have to show me a picture. Oh, here, I have my iPad too.
Yeah, look up the, like, Santa.
We'll do all these. We'll put all these on the polls.
Oh my God, we should. We'll just do
find the hottest
of, like,
Santa. We'll just do
all the
what's
Santas.
the hottest Santa.
Yeah, all of the Santas.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, his face is good.
It's
just his body ratio that's a little much, but I haven't seen it. But his head's a little small for how large his body is. That's a lot of beard.
He's very
but the face
grumpy.
Is good.
He's like just grumpy. Oh wait, something just popped up on.
Oh,
Amazon.
He has a ponytail. It's a good looking ponytail with that beard too. So
all
right, fair.
There's a book that just popped up called Klaus, and it's How Santa Claus Began. But like, look at this picture. Look at this. Can you see this?
Okay, if Norm Macdonald is the voice, I'm out.
Who?
Of Klaus. Norm Macdonald?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
I feel like he had a good voice. But yeah, look at this cover that just popped up.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Show the people.
Klaus.
That looks great.
The origin story. Like, I feel like I need to read this. It's like he's all bloody. He's carrying a bloody deer, and he's very like The Witcher-y. He's got like a bloody wolf behind him.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, hey. He's a myth. He's a legend. He's loved worldwide by children and adults alike. But does anyone truly know the origins of Santa Claus? Okay, I'll be buying this later.
Well, looks like you'll be reading another one this year.
Yeah, I think so. All
right, you got a smash or pass for me?
I do. So, Jim Carrey as the Grinch.
Pass. What about you?
Pass for sure.
Yeah.
That one's more so just to put it out there into the universe so that we can gather the data. I will say, I am honestly shocked. I think I reported it to my husband last night. I think that it was like 11% of you guys would smash the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
There's someone for everyone.
Truly.
Someone said something about his like black hole dead eyes, and I was like, totally.
That's a morally gray Pillsbury Doughboy. Because
they're just like, what are they? I don't know.
They are. It could turn sinister real fast.
Totally.
I said, ha ha. As he comes at you with a freaking butcher knife.
That's awesome.
There we go.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here on this cringy Christmas journey with us.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming by. Before you leave, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcast, including YouTube. If you are so kindly, it would be great to leave us a little review, a little rating and review on, I think it's Apple or Spotify. YouTube doesn't really allow that, but if you want to leave us a comment, that'd be great too. Come chit chat and follow us at Besties in the Books podcast on Instagram and TikTok. That way you can vote in these Smash or Pass polls, because we need to find out who the hottest Santa is. Yeah, you guys got to let us know.
Who's the hottest Santa?
You guys, your vote matters. So go out there.
Is it Kurt Russell?
Is it Klaus? Is it the Santa Claus? Tim Allen as a toy doll?
You let us know. Someone. Tim Allen, just as regular Santa, must do it for someone.
I'm sure.
Not me, but someone.
Someone, So there we go. There's a reason for the season. Okay. All right, you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.